are going to discuss, and all the basic terms related to masonry basically. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about this masonry work, and for that all the different terms that are related to masonry that we are going to discuss today. So this masonry is very important whenever we are dealing with the construction aspect. So what is this masonry? So basically this masonry is defined as the art of building a structure. तो कोई भी अगर हमको structure बनाना है, ठीक है, so we need some building materials. So basically when we are building the material with the basic materials like stone or brick, and they are bonded together with mortar. So mortar is nothing but basically it is the mixture of cement with fine aggregate, that is your sand and water. So that will bind them together. So when the stones and brick, normally these are the normally building material that are used for the construction of a building. Okay, so that are bonded together with the mortar, then it is called as masonry. So the selection of the type of the material. So basically these are two widely used materials. Okay, for the masonry, and it is selected on the view in the requirement of strength. कितना strength चाहिए आपको? So first requirement, that is that we can select which type of material we have to go for the construction of any building. Then it depends upon strength requirement, then waterproofing, okay, then thermal insulation, temperature condition, that is very important, then fire resistance, durability, કેટલું ચાલશે, કેટલું ટકાઉ હશે, and economy, that economical aspect, okay, that is money related aspect. So these are all points that you have to consider before selecting any type of material, either brick or stone. So basically types of masonry that you should learn, or that is included in your syllabus, that is stone masonry. So the stone is the material along with the mortar. Then brick masonry, then composite, that is combination, and hollow concrete block masonry. So all this masonry work that we are going to discuss in detail. But before going to discuss about all the different types of masonry, we should know the basic terms. Okay, so basically this uses of masonry. So this masonry is widely used for the construction of foundation. So foundation may be used करते, so normally in columns and walls and other similar component of the structure that are generally used and that are generally constructed with the help of masonry. So there are many advantages of uses of this masonry. Okay, so these are the basic advantage of masonry for the load bearing structure, and that performs variety of functions, like it will give the architectural effect. ठीक है, अच्छे से आपने अगर wall या कुछ ऐसा बनाया है, कोई भी column, that can give a good architectural effect. It grants the fire and weather protection. So this is very essential. Fire resistance, weather protection, that can be given. Acoustic, that is related to sound. Okay, so it can provide sound or acoustic, and thermal insulation, that is temperature related, so that inside your house it may be cozy environment, not too hot, not too cold. So that is thermal insulation. Then sound related, that is called as acoustic insulation. Then subdividing the space, so generally walls that are generally used for dividing your space. Then supporting loads. So basically these are all the advantage of using any kind of masonry. So materials which are used for the masonry. So basically first thing that you need is mortar, and second is the material, that is basic building material, either stone or brick. So either you can take stone or brick, widely used. And second, to bond them together you need some binding material. Okay, so for that generally mortar is used. So this mortar is nothing but it is a binding material. Binding material means cement, normally cement or lime, that are used as a binding material, and fine aggregate and water. So that is sand. Sand and cement, or sand and lime, when mixed together along with the water in certain proportion, then they are forming an easily workable paste जिससे आप अच्छे से काम कर पा रहे हो, and that is termed as mortar. So there are different types of mortars that are generally used, and their uses are given. So first, very commonly used, that is cement mortar. So generally here the paste is prepared by using cement and sand. So that is mixture of cement and fine aggregate in suitable proportion, and you have to add water. So generally the proportion is selected is 1 part of cement, 8 part of cement when 2 to 8 part of clean sand or fine aggregates. Sand is nothing but it is a fine aggregate. Then can be taken. So that is variable proportion that can be taken up. So these mortars must be used within half an hour. Normally क्या होता है कि this cement that is having setting time. Okay, so there are two types of setting time: initial setting time and final setting time. So generally in the OPC, that is the normal ordinary Portland cement, its initial setting time. So initial setting time is which time? At the time after which it will lose its plasticity. So means उसको आप कुछ different shape नहीं दे सकते. Okay, so loss of plasticity हो जाए उससे पहले आपको उसको use करना है. So generally these mortars, when you are preparing, as the cement will start setting, that is initial set would start. So before initial setting time you have to use that mortar, otherwise it will be setting, and you cannot give a particular shape, and that mortar will be useless. So this type is used for all the engineering works. Normally cement mortar is widely used in all the engineering works with high strength is desired, such as load bearing wall banani aapko, deep foundation, flooring everywhere, and for the wall construction, that is the basically use of the mortar. Second is lime. So instead of now cement, you are replacing it with the lime. Lime is a cheaper material as compared to cement. So it is prepared by mixing the lime and sand together in a suitable proportion by addition of water. So these mortars are inferior in quality as compared to cement mortar as far as the strength and water tightness is concerned. So basically this type of mortar, which type we have to use, it depends upon the strength requirement. अगर आपको ज़्यादा strength चाहिए तो you have to go for definitely cement mortar. Then load coming on the structure, then resistance desired for the weathering agencies. जो भी weathering effect होता है उससे अगर आपको बचना है तो you have to decide which kind of mortar. So generally it is considered that cement mortar is better as far as the strength is concerned and water tightness is concerned as compared to lime mortar. Now in certain cases, instead of this lime mortar or cement mortar, the mixtures can also be used. So that is called as cement lime mortar or lime cement mortar. So if you are using cement lime mortar, means basically cement you are using, but some portion of the cement it is replaced by hydrated lime. Means pure cement use नहीं करेंगे, थोड़ा सा cement replace करेंगे with the hydrated lime. So it spreads more evenly under the trowel. Trowel कुछ नहीं होता है जिससे हम उसको we are spreading that is the tool that we are using for spreading our mortar. So it spreads more easily under the trowel due to this presence of lime, and it produces more plastic material. Plastic paste banega if you are adding some proportion of hydrated lime in replacement of cement. Second is lime cement mortar. So here portion of lime it is replaced by cement. So major the first one hai, this is major proportion, but some part it is replaced by cement, and it makes the mortar stronger because of the presence of this cement, more plastic and workable, and it sets earlier depending upon the setting time of your cement. So again the choice of mortar and its composition कितना लेना है, okay, and कौन सा mortar use करना है, it is governed by the following factors. So types of masonry, which kind of material basically you are using, brick masonry or stone masonry or hollow brick masonry. So that depends upon that. Then situation of structure, this is very important. Intensity of load, degree of exposure to weather. So weathering effects, basically to overcome that weathering effects, this mortar is playing very important role. Then type of bond, कौन सा bond बनाना है, that is important. Then durability, ટકાઉ જેને કહેવાય ગુજરાતીમાં, કેટલું ટકાઉ કેટલા વર્ષો સુધી ચાલશે તમારું સ્ટ્રક્ચર, that is durability. Then some of the other special requirement like fire resistance, then insulation, that thermal and sound insulation, rate of hardening. So these are all the factors that are to be considered before making any choice of mortar and its composition. Okay. So now we are going to discuss now all the important basic terms related to masonry. Okay. So basically this two types of masonry that are widely used, as I told you, that is stone masonry and brick masonry. So here I have combined all the basic terms related to stone as well as brick. Okay. So we will discuss in general all the basic terms related to both the basic types of masonry, that is stone masonry and brick masonry. Okay, so ये सब common terms हैं. Some are specially used for stone, some are specially used for bricks, but some common terms are there. So I have collected all the terms. So all the important terms that are related to, in general, related to masonry work, general masonry work, that we are going to discuss. Okay, so these are very important terms. Please study it carefully. Whatever I am explaining, just try to understand it thoroughly, because all are basic terms. Okay, so here first important part, that is called header. So here you can see, just it is the sketch of normal brick. Okay, ईंट, जन गुजराती में कहवाय ईंट. Okay, so this portion that here you can see, it is called as header. So what is that? Okay, so normally this full brick or stone, so it is applicable to both brick or stone, which is laid with its length perpendicular to the face of wall. Means face of wall, say if you are keeping it perpendicular, then it is called as header. Okay, so here these are the standard dimension of brick in India. It is not like it is always all the bricks that are made of this dimension, but these are the standard dimension. And this standard dimension, you can see, it is 90 mm by 90 mm by 190 mm. And with mortar, okay, when you are joining it with a mortar, its size will become 100 mm by 100 mm by 200 mm. So that is the normal standard dimension of the bricks that are available in India. Okay, so here this portion, when you are laying this portion, and suppose here there is a wall, ये आपका wall बना रहा है, ठीक है. So face of wall से if it is perpendicular, so okay, so when you are laying, or this full brick or stone, when you are laying with its length, this length is going to be perpendicular to the face of wall. So this is your face of wall, उसके perpendicular आपने ये रखा, then it is called as header. So you can see that you can say simply that ये जो smaller part, this 10 by 10, this 90 by 90, sorry, this 90 mm by 90 mm, this part, this is generally a square. This is generally called as header portion. A course in which all the bricks are laid at as header. So one header, then second header, third header. So you are making one a continuous course. Okay, then it is called as heading course or header course. So in a course, all the bricks are laid as a header. सब header की तरह आप रख रहे हैं, ठीक है, छोटा part, ठीक है. So then it is called as header course. Now next is stretcher. So here this stretcher is nothing but full brick or stone which is laid with its length. So now instead of this, just you are rotating. अभी इसको आप rotate कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, और ये length उसके parallel आ गई, parallel to the. So here suppose this is the face of wall, यहाँ पे face of wall है, ठीक है, and along with that you are just keeping. So this is the direction in which you are keeping. So this is called as stretcher. So full brick or stone laid with its length parallel to the face of the wall, it is called as stretcher. Okay, and a course in which all the bricks are laid as stretchers. So one stretcher, second stretcher, so all are laid as a stretcher. So then it is called as the stretching course or stretcher course. Okay, so here simply you can say this small portion, it is called as header, and this lengthwise portion, it is called as stretcher. Now frog. So basically here in bricks you can see some depression. Okay, खट्टा जैसा दिखेगा आपको, and that is what which is meant by frog. Okay, so it is a depression generally 10 to 20 mm made on the top face of the brick. Top face of the brick पे normally खड्डा होता है, that is 10 to 20 mm for the purpose of forming a key for the mortar. तो इसमें भी आप mortar डालेंगे. Okay, and which prevents the displacement of the brick above, and that will prevent, उसके ऊपर जो भी brick हम lay कर रहे हैं, from preventing it from the displacement of the brick above, and then it is called as frog. So frog is nothing but depression which is provided at the top of the brick. So square side header, lengthwise side it is stretcher, and the depression at the top which is called as frog. Now you can keep this brick in various positions. Already we have discussed this stretcher and header. Okay, so these are the normal positions in which we are laying our brick. Now try to understand other terms. So these are all the brick orientation or brick position in which you can keep it along with the mortar for forming a wall or any structure of the building part. So structure already I have discussed. So here in this you can see this is your, so here in this figure you can easily make out this is your structure portion. Okay, so here this is your header portion. Okay, so a brick laid horizontally flat with the long side of the brick exposed to the outer surface of the wall. So बाहर हमको क्या दिखेगा ये, तो then it is called as structure. So this position, इस position में आपने brick को रख दिया, then it is called as structure. Then header, a brick laid flat with the short end of the brick exposed. So here the exposure part कौन सा होगा ये, then it is called as header. So simply you are knowing both the thing. Now the next term. Okay, so normally as I told you this is a square part, but sometimes it may not be there. So in that case if you are just rotating this like this, okay, आप उसको rotate कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. Now next part is shiner, a brick laid on the long narrow side with the broad side exposed. So here you can see this. Okay, and if this is you are keeping it along the narrow side and it is having long side which is exposed, then in this position it is called as shiner. Next is row lock or bull header. So this is nothing but this portion. If this is exposed this way, so you are just rotating the brake and this header kind of portion it is exposed now, so just you are rotating this, rotating. If this is exposed it is called as shiner, and this header portion it is exposed, it is called as the row lock or bull header. So brick laid on the long narrow side with the small or header side is exposed, so just rotate कर दो आप brick को, then it will be called header side exposed हो रहा है, it is called as the row lock or bull header, and stretcher side exposed हो रहा है, it is called as the shiner. Next is sheller. So sheller, just we are keeping this the whole brick in vertical direction, पूरा rotate करके आप उसको vertical place कर रहे हो, ठीक है. So now in vertical also there are two possibilities. This portion is exposed or this widthwise portion is exposed. Okay, so if the brick laid vertically with the broad side exposed, so this widthwise that is exposed, it is called as the sheller. And if brick laid vertically with the narrow stretcher side, the stretcher side exposed हो रहा है, then it is called as soldier. Soldier. So these are the different position in which you can keep your brick while construction. Okay, so general positions that are widely used are stretcher and header, but sometimes you have to rotate it, and then in that condition the different formations are there, so that you should know stretcher, header, shiner, row lock, sheller and soldier. Okay, so now these are some pictures that how you can utilize. So here you can see this is the stretcher portion that is exposed. Here this the header portion is exposed. Now you are rotating the brick, keeping it like this, so it is called as shiner. Then vertically you are keeping, header portion is exposed, it is called as the soldier. Then this roll lock header portion, when you are keeping it like this way by rotating, it is called as a roll lock. And vertically you are keeping and the broad portion is exposed. So these are some ways in which then it is called as sheller. You can utilize while building your particular brickwork, and these are normal terms which are used related to brick masonry. So all the brick position you should be very conservant with all these particular types of brick, सब आपको पता होनी चाहिए. Now next important point that we are going to discuss now, that is called as pores. So every horizontal layer of the brick or stone laid in mortar, it is called as pores. Horizontally हमने जितना भी रखा है, so here you can see this is one pores. Okay, so all the horizontal layer, जितने भी bricks है उसके horizontal layers होंगे bricks या stone के, it is laid in mortar, it is generally called as pores. So its thickness is equal to the thickness of stone or brick plus the thickness of one mortar joint. So here you can see यहाँ से आपका brick start हो रहा है and here there is a joint because you have to join it with the second brick. Okay, so here this is the thickness of your particular, that is the length of your stone or brick, plus this thickness of the mortar. So this is one course. So horizontal course, it is called as horizontal layer of the brick or stone, it is called as course. Now next important thing is bond. So now horizontal course we have laid. Now above that again you have to lay for the second layer, third layer, fourth layer, and go, you are going on at the higher height. So now overlapping of the bricks or stones in alternate course of the wall. So here these are different types of bond that we are going to learn in detail when we will talk about brick masonry in particular. So bond आपको properly उसको bond करना है, ठीक है? तो all the horizontal, these are horizontal course. Okay. Now overlapping of the brick or stones. Now there is a overlapping, this and this. Then again there is a overlapping. Okay. So here in each alternate course you can see some overlap. Okay. So here you can see here all the stretcher courses are there. Here all the header courses, here all the stretcher courses, again header courses. So this overlapping of the bricks or stone in alternate course. So here this alternate course of the wall to avoid the continuous vertical joint. अगर आपने यहीं पे वापस ये स्ट्रेचर रख दिया तो एक वर्टिकल जॉइंट आ जाएगा. ओके, इफ यू आर नॉट ब्रेकिंग दिस वर्टिकलिटी ऑफ द जॉइंट्स, then if there is some entry of the water leakage, पूरा का पूरा पानी नीचे आ जाएगा. But here you are breaking the verticality of the joint because you have to join both the bricks together. So this alternate overlapping of the brick or stone in the wall to avoid the continuous vertical joint and to bind the individual units together, then it is called as bond. So you have to properly bond all the layers, okay, all the courses, so that vertical joint should not be in a one line, then it is called a bond. Okay, that is called as the bonding or the bond together. Okay, so here all the stretchers are arranged. Here you can see, okay, all the stretchers are arranged, but at the end of the course some smaller size is used. Why? Just to avoid this verticality of this particular bond. So this is stretcher bond, all the stretchers are there. Now here this is simple English bond, so in which the one course all are of header, stretcher, then header, then all are stretcher, all are header. And here if you are keeping in one course, they are alternatively, like stretcher, this is stretcher, and then it is header, then it is called a simple Flemish bond. So you will learn in detail all the different types of bonds in masonry, but just as a basic term you should know this term of bond. Okay, so in the alternate course they are joined together so that there should not be a vertical joint in same line. Next is aris. So this arises or arises in some of the pronunciation like that. So this aris is nothing but this. Okay, so here the edges which are formed by the intersection of the plane surface of the brick, they are called as the arises, and they should be sharp and free from damage. Okay, so because these edges that are always chance that they can be damaged, so it should not be, it should be free from damage and it should be sharp. So this is nothing but edges which are formed by the intersection of the plane surface. ये surface सबका intersection, that is generally called as the arises. Then next is lap. So horizontal distance between the vertical joints in successive courses, they are called as lap. So here you can see this is your first course, this is your second course, okay, and these are your vertical joints. So alternate are there, okay. So this distance here you can see this distance. So it is the horizontal distance. So here you can see this is the horizontal distance between the vertical joints in successive course. यहाँ पे vertical joint यहाँ पे है, यहाँ पे vertical joint इधर है. तो जितना भी जो डिस्टेंस होगा बिटवीन द टू सक्सेसिव कोर्सेज, alternate नहीं, successive courses, then it will be called as lap. So this lap is very essential for the proper bonding. Okay, so it is termed as lap, and for the good bond it should be 1/4 of the length of the brick. जितना भी length of the brick है उसका 1/4 portion it should be as a lap. So all this gap or the distance between the two successive joints, vertical joints, it is generally called as lap. Okay, now next important term that is called as bed. So bed is nothing but lower or bottom surface of the bricks or stone in each course. जो भी lower part होगा that is generally called as the bed. So lower or the bottom surface of the brick or stone in each course, that is termed as bed. Now next is natural bed. This natural bed word is generally used for the stone masonry. So generally these building stones are obtained from the rock, and each rock they are having some distinct plane of division along which the stone can easily be split. वो एक ऐसा एक प्लेन होगा जिसपे से वो easily split हो सकता है अपना कोई भी stone. So that particular distinct plane along which the stone can easily be split, उसको आप split कर पा रहे हो, उसको दो पार्ट में कर पा रहे हो, तोड़ पा रहे हो, then it is called as natural bed. So natural bed is nothing but it is the distinct plane of division along which stone can be easily split, and it is called as natural bed. Now next is face. So surface of the wall exposed to weather. So here you can see this is the section of one wall. So here this portion, this is exposed to weather. ये बाहर दिख रहा है आपको, ठीक है? So that is nothing but it is called as face of the wall. And material which is used for construction of the face. यहाँ पे जितने भी आपके courses and bond है, that are generally made up of certain material, either brick or stone or hollow concrete block, whatever. So then it is called as facing. So material को आप facing बोलेंगे, and the particular wall which is exposed to weather, it will be called as face. Then next is back. So surface of the wall which is not exposed to weather, because आपके घर के अंदर है, okay? So this will be inside your house, okay? That is not exposed to weather. So inside of your house, whatever wall which is there, that is called as back, and it is called as back. And the material which is used for this construction of back, it is called as backing. Okay, so face, that is exposed, back which is not exposed to weather. Then hearting, the inner portion of the wall between facing and backing. So this is your hearting, जो अंदर का material होगा. And that inner portion, so normally it's a brick. From outside it is called as face, inside it is called as back, and in between portion which is called as hearting. So it's the portion between facing and backing, that is called as hearting. Okay, next is quoin. Now this is very important term, quoin. So basically exterior angle or corner of the wall is known as quoin. So here you can see this portion, it is nothing but it is the angle which is made at the corner of the wall, and which is called as quoin. The brick or stone which is laid on the corner of the wall, it is called as quoin, stone और brick. जो भी brick या stone हम यहाँ पे use करेंगे उसको हम quoin बोलेंगे, ठीक है? So this is what which is meant by quoin. Brick or stone which is laid at the corner or the exterior angle of the wall, it is called as quoin. And generally this quoin are at right angle. Normally right angle पे होती है wall, ठीक है? So this quoin are also provided at right angle, but in some of the cases it may not be at right angle. Okay, so angle greater than 90 degree also. So when some kind of brick which are used, so here in this figure you can see this angle is not 90 degree. Okay, and here it is also forming this particular corner of the wall. So when a brick which is cut or molded such that angle other than right angle, it is formed in plan, it is called as the squint quoin. So this is squint brick. Okay, so here it is having some different shape than our normal brick, and by taking out some portion, so just to form this particular corner, then in that case it is called as the squint brick, and this portion, this corner portion, it is called as the squint quoin. Now bats. So as you want to avoid the vertical joint in one line, you have to break your bricks, okay, either lengthwise or either widthwise. So that will generally avoid the that verticality of your particular joint. Okay, so brick bat. So then we are using this brick bat word. The portion made by cutting standard brick across its width. ठीक है, ये आपका जो width है उसको हम cut कर देंगे, ठीक है? So when you are cutting it widthwise, then it is called as brick bed, and these are named according to the fraction of full length, because widthwise हम cut करें तो उसका length कम हो जाएगा, ठीक है? So how much length available for the particular brick, accordingly the bats are given different name. So first is half bat, as the name suggests, halfway cut कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. So here widthwise this complete half portion of the brick, so it's a half brick you can say lengthwise. So if the length of the bat is equal to half of the length of the original brick, it is known as half bat. So आप stretcher portion को आधा कर रहे हैं, so it is called as half bat. Now 3/4 bat. So now this is your 3/4 portion. So 1/4 portion आप cut कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. Then in that case it is called as the 3/4 bat. So 3/4 portion is available for use. So if the length of the bat is equal to 3/4 of the length of the original brick, then it is called as 3/4 bat. Then beveled. So whenever word like beveled is there ना, so there is some sloping side, okay, कुछ slope आएगा उसके अंदर. So here it is obtained by cutting a portion of brick such that half of one face. So here you can just try to concentrate this. Half of the one face of the structure and quarter face of the another structure. Means यहाँ से आप half cut कर रहे. So here you can see here 20 centimeter that is with if without mortar, if you are saying it is 190 mm. Okay, so that is 19 centimeter. उसका half पे cut कर दिया and यहाँ पे 1/4 cut कर दिया. So at one end it is 3/4 portion, at one end it is half portion. Then such brick, it is called as beveled bat. So here you can have some splayed portion or beveled portion, okay, or that is having some sloping side you can say, okay. So it is obtained by cutting a portion of the brick such that half of one face of the structure and the quarter of the face of another structure. So ये quarter portion है, ये half portion है. In that case it is called as beveled bat. So here all this 3/4 bat. So this is 3/4. Then this is beveled. So here it is having some angle, okay, and this is half bat. Now widthwise आपने cut किया, then it will be called as bat. But now instead of that, if you are cutting your brick lengthwise, okay, so it is a portion of the brick which is cut longitudinally, means lengthwise, then it is termed and which is used to close up the bond at the end of the course. So generally at the end of the course, this way you can utilize. So closer help in preventing the joints in successive course to come in vertical line. So successive course जो है आपके course at a higher or lower level, it should come in vertical, means alternate course vertical line में आएंगे, not the successive, okay. So that is lengthwise if you are cutting, then it is called as your closer. So there are different types of closers: queen closer quarter, king closer, beveled closer, meter closer. So here you have to just understand that length को आपको cut करना है, ठीक है. That is the major thing. Widthwise cut करोगे तो bat, and lengthwise cut करोगे, it is called as closer. So here you can see this is the full brick, okay. Here just half lengthwise it is cut, so it is queen closer. Queen closer को भी halfway cut कर दिया, then it is called as the quarter queen closer, okay. Then here king closer. So this is king closer, this is beveled closer. Here there is a big angle, in all there is an angle, and this is metered. So we will learn in detail now. So next is queen closer. So basically when brick is cut along its length, making its 2 equal half of the brick. So this is full brick. यहाँ से पूरा आपने cut कर दिया है, यहाँ से पूरा आधा. So this portion will remain. Then it is called as queen closer. So it's a broken brick portion whose width is half of the width. उसकी width half हो गई, but length remains same. Length is same, but its width is half. Then it is called as the queen closer half. Now again queen closer quarter. So if this queen closer again from half it is cut, then if the queen closer is broken into 2 equal pieces, then it is called as queen closer quarter. And such closer is thus a brick piece with 1/4 of the brick size. पूरा size, पूरा brick का 1/4 size होगा इसके अंदर, okay. So here this type of queen closer that can be utilized, okay. And the alternate course, all the joints should be in a vertical line. But alternate courses उसका joint vertical line में आना चाहिए, उसके लिए हम queen closers normally at the end course we are generally using. Next is king closer, okay. So now king closer, it is if brick we are cutting in such a way that one end becomes half of that of the full brick. Here you can see this is your stretcher size and this is your header side, okay, lengthwise and widthwise. So halfway we are cutting here, okay, while the width of the other end is equal to the full width. So here this width is half, but here at the other end width is full, okay. So यहाँ से भी आपने हाफ कट किया, width wise भी हाफ कट किया, and here at the second, so at one end it is having half width, but at the other end it is full width. So it is obtained by cutting out the triangular portion of the brick between the center of one end. So यहाँ से भी आपने आधा कट कर दिया, center of the one end, that is widthwise, and center of the other end means stretcher side, दोनों को आधा आधा कट कर रहे हैं, okay. This triangular portion if you are cutting, then whatever is available, so here this is your king closer. Thus you can say it's a half header and half stretcher, okay. So this half of the stretcher, this is cut, and half of the header which is cut, and whatever remaining portion, that is called as king closer. So generally this way at the corners also you can utilize this king closer. So generally these closers are widely used at different courses. Now next is beveled closer. So beveled here, so it is a special form of king closer. So in king closer, here this is halfway we are cutting, and here halfway stretcher we are cutting, but here we are not cutting it halfway here. So here we are cutting it completely, okay. Then whatever this played portion or this played brick type of work is obtained, that is called as the beveled closer. So in which the whole length of the brick, that is stretcher face, is beveled in such a way that half width is maintained at one end and full width is maintained at other end. But here halfway stretcher is not cut, you are just cutting it completely. पूरा stretcher face है पूरा complete cut करोगे, and width wise it is same, width पूरा मिल रहा है, यहाँ पे half width मिल रहा है, it is same like king closer only, but this bevel portion it is going up to this end, okay, not it is at the halfway, then it is king closer, it is full way cut, then it is called as beveled closer. Next is metered closer. So here if the portion of the brick whose one end is cut, splayed or metered for full width, okay. So ये पूरा का पूरा width wise cut कर दिया यहाँ पे. In king and beveled we were cutting it halfway, but यहाँ पे halfway नहीं है, पूरा ही cut कर दिया, ठीक है. So when the portion of the brick whose one end is cut or cut, splayed or metered for full width, the angle of splay may be 45 to 60 degree. So this angle that you are cutting, it is adjusted at an angle of 45 to 60. So it is not going halfway in stretcher. Stretcher में हम halfway cut नहीं कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. So it may be at the angle 45 to 60 degrees. So whatever this triangle portion now we are taking out, and whatever remaining portion, so here this is the remaining portion, okay, and that is what which is called as metered closer. So thus one longer face of the metered closer is full length of the brick. So here you can see this is full length of the brick, while the other longer face is smaller in length, but it is not exactly half नहीं है, but it is smaller in length, and one way it is width wise completely cut, and second end it is full width. So this kind of metered closer that are used at particularly joint, okay, and that is generally called as metered joint. So when metered closer are used, it is called as metered joint. Now all the closers that you should know very well, okay. So these two are very important, bed and closer. Width wise if you are cutting, it is called as brick bed. Length wise if you are cutting, it is called as closer. And all the closers that you should know very well, okay. And one more term I will take, that is called as specially shaped bricks. So here you can see this is the molding portion. ये एकदम sharp edge नहीं है, it's a molded portion. Okay. So sometimes you need to place this kind of bricks also. Okay. So it is called as a specially shaped bricks. So that is called as bull nose. So it's a specially molded brick with one edge rounded. So here you can see, so basically this bullnose means rounded, round कर दिया हमने. So if only one edge is rounded, then it is called as single bullnose. But both the ends, if they are molded and rounded, then it is called as double bullnose, or sometimes it is called as cow nose. So this is a special types of bricks that can be used, and they are generally used in copings or such position where rounded courses are preferred instead of to shape the arises, that is your joint. So here this is aris portion, basically aris portion, so that is molded, then it is called as specially shaped brick, which is called as bullnose, double or single. Also some splays are there. So these are the special molded bricks which are often used to form a plinth. Plinth के लिए भी special molded this kind of bricks are used. Okay. So plinth portion means at the that your floor level, to reach from ground level to floor level. Special molded bricks which are generally often used to form a plinth, it is called as the splay stretcher. So this is splay stretcher. So if lengthwise it is placed with special angle and molded properly, then it is called as splay stretcher. And if it is kept header wise, it is called as the splay header. Okay, so plinth horseman, normally this kind of special bricks can be utilized. Then dogleg or angle. So it is also a special form of the molded bricks which are used to ensure a satisfactory bond at quoins. Quoins are nothing but here at the corners special bricks which are using. Okay, so if they are molded properly and to ensure a specific bond at corners, at quoins which are not at right angle. Okay, so right angle पे नहीं है, so in that case it is called as the dog leg or angle. So the angle and the length of the face forming the dog leg vary according to the requirement. So this angle and this length all are so special molded brick which are provided at QN, they are also called as the dog leg or angle, and sometimes they are preferred over the metered closer. So metered closer, that is also used at the corners. Instead of that, these special types of molded bricks are also preferred, which are called as the dog leg or angle. So these are very important terms that you should know, and in the next class we will be discussing in detail other different important terms that are used. Okay, so with this I am stopping. Thank you very much.